Twitter employees beg, quote, reckless Musk not to fire them, demand dignity. Really, you demand dignity after censoring conservatives because you don't agree with their ideas. This whole misinformation, disinformation stuff is just another way to keep you from knowing the truth. Anything that they don't agree with, they call it misinformation, disinformation, and believe that you're supposed to be censored. That is totally antithetical to the First Amendment. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. When you hit that alarm bell, hit all so you get all the notifications when I post videos. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon where I talk about things I can't talk about here. And there's also a link to my Instagram where I put out tons of news throughout the day to keep you informed. All right, let's talk about this news. Twitter employees have penned an open letter to soon-to-be boss Elon Musk and the board of directors begging to keep their jobs after the Washington Post reported that Musk is planning to get rid of nearly 75% of the company's 7,500 workers, whittling Twitter down to a skeleton staff of just 2,000. Quote, Elon Musk plan to lay off 75% of Twitter workers will hurt Twitter's ability to serve the public conversation, reads a draft of the letter, which has not yet been published. Quote, a threat of this magnitude is reckless, undermines our users and customers' trust in our platform, and is a transparent act of worker intimidation. These people are ridiculous. So they're threatening him. They're calling it intimidation, and this is how you know these people are not good people at all. The letter then suggests that the full staff is, quote, helping to uplift independent journalism in Ukraine and Iran, as well as powering social movements around the world. That's not your job, Twitter. Your job is to let people speak. Your job is not to uplift anything. Just let people speak, and the people that want to listen will listen. Your job is not to censor people that for wrong speak. But this is why I'm so glad they're getting rid of most of these people. The employees then demand that Musk, quote, explicitly commit to preserve our benefits, those both listed in the merger agreement and not, i.e., example, remote work. We demand, they say. They demand. These are employees demanding something, but they say we demand leadership to establish and ensure fair severance policies for all workers before and after any change of ownership. I mean, these leftists are nuts. They think they really run the company. They also demand dignity, writing, quote, we demand transparent, prompt, and thoughtful communication around our working conditions. We demand to be treated with dignity and to not be treated as mere pawns in a game played by billionaires. Following the 75% layoff report, experts told ABC News that the change could, quote, compromise the platform's capacity to police false or harmful content with ramifications that extend to social issues like election integrity, and that, quote, the experience of a typical user could change significantly, they added, noting the possible rise of harassment and other forms of corrosive discourse. This is crazy. ABC News even getting in on it. And Musk has reportedly told employees that, quote, anyone who is a significant contributor should have nothing to worry about, according to a June 16th tweet from Bloomberg reporter Kirk Wagner. So just do your job. This is if you're not doing these are the people that aren't really doing their job. That's why they're writing this letter. They're worried because they know they're not putting in the work like they're supposed to. They know they're being dirty, censoring people that don't need to be censored and so forth. So they're worried. That's why they penned this letter. Quote, if there is more harassment and other forms of toxic speech, if there is more misinformation and disinformation, and y'all know how I feel about that misinformation, disinformation. I talked about it yesterday on a video. But it goes on to say, then people's experience on the platform is going to be really different, said Zeev. Yeah, that's his name with a Z. Zeev Sanderson, the executive director at New York University's Center for Social Media and Politics. In short, Twitter employees are freaking out And left-wing experts, quote unquote, they fear that free speech will allow dangerous information to reach the millions, whatever that means. What is dangerous information? You see how they play these word games? This is what it looks like when ideological zealots lose control of their over narratives. They want the control of the narrative, and now that Twitter, there's the assumption that Twitter is going to be more free and open. They're worried about that because when it comes to the battle of ideas, leftists know they will lose in a conversation, so that's why they want to control the conversation. But let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out democrepublics.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.